July in Edinburgh, Texas means temperatures in the triple digits at HEB Park. It touched 100 degrees earlier. 95 this evening as the RGV Toros take on the only thing hotter than the weather, the scorching Phoenix Rising FC, winners of 8 straight. Good evening, I'm Ryan Piers. Orlando Seawolves head coach Tom Traxler is with me. RGV has their hands full tonight against his explosive offense of Phoenix Rising, so the always reliable Kyle Adams must be on his game.
He's going to have to be on his game. The Kiwi from New Zealand, he's the captain. He's the one that's going to have to hold it all together. But you know what? Listen, he's good in the air, which is good. He's got to be good on the ground, though. He reads the game well, loves to play out of the back. He's going to be key for RGV tonight.
Tyler Derrick has spent some time with the Houston Dynamo this year. He will be between the pipes for RGV tonight.
No surprise. Look, you're playing the hottest team in the league, the team that scored 30 goals over the last 8 games. You put experience between the posts. This guy has faced some of the best players in MLS over his time with the Houston Dynamo. So they said, hey, let's get down there to RGV, help them out against the hottest team in the league.
Just 7 goals conceded in 4 starts. It's hard to think of someone playing better than Phoenix's Solomon Asante. He leads the league in goals and assists.
Well, Phoenix is explosive, and that guy right there is the TNT. He does so much for this team. He's quick. He gets into space. He turns. He supplies assists. He finishes. He is probably right now the best player going in USL Championship.
Phoenix Rising took the first matchup this year, but RGV forced a draw last time these two teams played at HEB. Can they push the league's top team again? We'll find out. RGV, Phoenix Rising, coming up.
The more we are together with nature, the more we are together, the better we'll be. There's forests and rivers, mountains and valleys. The more we are together, the better we'll be.
For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank has grown along with our customers. Together, we have helped transform South Texas, raised families, and planted roots to create opportunities that benefit not the few, but the many, to plan and build for a better tomorrow, to imagine what is possible. That is how you build strong communities and the strong bank, one generation at a time. For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. Customization is what we've always done. We have mustard, mayo, ketchup. It's all up to you.
When you customize your own burger, you can put your personality in it.
Mayonnaise, ketchup, no cheese. This is my Whataburger.
We customize orders 24 hours a day.
Everybody wants it just like they like it. When you can make it your own, that always enhances that experience for you.
They're just happy to do whatever makes you happy.
However you want it, I got you. Here at Whataburger, we make it just like you like it, whenever you like it.
Hola Bruce, bienvenido a Taquería Manu. ¿Taquería Manu? Mi nueva pasión ahora que estoy retirado. Desde que probé las carnes marinadas, mi tienda para tacos son fáciles y rapidísimos de hacer. A ver, dale, mira esto. Elige el sabor que quieras. ¡Híjole! ¡Qué rico! Provecho, Bruce. Gracias, hermano.
Carnes Marinadas, mi tienda de HEB, celebrando nuestra cultura, costumbres y pasión.
Getting set for soccer at HEB Stadium. Procession as Elton Garcia, the man in the middle, brings the ball to play. 5-8-5 RGV taking on the top team in USL Championship. Let's have a look at Phoenix's starting lineup. Such an explosive bunch. So many weapons to choose from when you look at this team.
Yeah, that's the great thing. If you're Coach Rick Chance, is you have a deep bench, and it just got deeper with, you look at Lambert's now back, Fleming's is back, but look at this lineup. Very consistent, but Asante up top. We talked about him. I would also say that Musa, 41, has been having a great season, and watch Mala at the back as well. Man, can he pick a pass.
Yeah, Asante has scored goals in 7 straight contests. Let's have a look at the RGV starting lineup. They have an interesting bunch today. They're bringing Small back to start. He's their leading goal scorer.
Well, the combination of the back of Adams and Fuenmayor has been a consistent, in terms of consistently good combination. It doesn't always figure for them, but when it does, it's usually been good. Small, he's going to have to be good up top. I mean, he's got to start turning in some performances and getting in the goals. And Monroy, for me, is a player who catches my eye because he's easy on the ball, very comfortable. He has the ability to break lines and create problems for RGV against Phoenix Rising tonight.
Yeah, Camilo Monroy had so many good opportunities last week against Tacoma, just missed a couple goals. You know he's got to be hungry coming into today.
For sure, he hasn't scored any, but you know it's what he can create. When you're that comfortable, you can get behind players, and players can run off of that. You're going to get chances created.
Just saw Coach Echeverry, Coach Rick Shantz. What a year he's had. He was named Coach of the Month in June, led this team to a 5-0-0 record then.
Can you think of any better? I mean, his team's absolutely on fire. I mean, 30 goals in 8 games. I mean, it's like they're scoring 3-4 goals a game for fun. So he's doing a lot of stuff really, really right. I can't think of a better choice for Manager of the Month.
Just bonker stats, and we'll bring them up throughout this broadcast. RGV trying to protect their home field. They've not lost at ATB Park in 3 contests against Phoenix Rising. They've drawn in each of those matchups. They'll start with the ball in their home dark uniforms. Phoenix Rising in the road whites.
Well, it's never easy to go away from home. Let's face it. I don't really care what team you are. You know, the travel, different conditions, not sleeping in the same bed. You know, it's not easy. There's a reason that it's tough to win on the road, but Phoenix has managed to do it quite well, and the way they're playing, they can win in any park, just about anywhere in this country. I think they'd give some MLS teams a run for their money right now in the form they're in.
Oh, without a doubt, playing great on the road. 4-2-2 record away from Arizona. This is their final match this year in the state of Texas. They're 1-1-1 in the state. As they take on an RGV team, they have never lost against RGV. 3 wins at home, and then 3 draws on the road between these 2 teams. Phoenix Rising, the top scoring team in the league. RGV is 9th in the league in goals scored. They've been pretty solid on the offensive end as well. Not a bad night weather-wise, 90 degrees. It seems hot, but for this part of Texas, that's not too bad.
No, it's going to be hot. But, you know, we were talking before the game, and if it's one team that's probably used to the heat as much as RGV, it's going to be Phoenix. I mean, in Phoenix right now, it's 105 degrees. So, you know, it's summertime. It's hot. These teams are used to it. I'll be curious to see if and how that affects the way each team approaches the game.
Phoenix Rising going for its 9th straight win, first at ATB Stadium. RGV seeking its first win against Phoenix. 3 points in this competitive Western Conference is up for grabs. As these teams feel each other out early. A long strike from Phoenix Rising, trying to test the man between the pipes tonight, Tyler Derrick.
Look at the high pressure coming from Phoenix right now.
Playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to. I mean, you're on an 8-game winning streak, and, you know, like you said, scoring lights out, that's going to breed confidence.
Small, number 58, sent it wide. As RGV tries to needle this Phoenix Rising defense. They have given up goals this year. Last week, 2 against T2 on 2 shots on goal, so there are opportunities. Small's got a chance and misses his man just a bit behind him.
You know, there's an opportunity. I think we talked about how good Carlos Small is going to have to be, and you needed to be a little bit better there. If you look up, I mean, I'm not sure. He definitely wasn't. If he was trying to pick a pass, it was an interesting pass, and he probably hit it way too hard. But from that point, I think he'd want to try to get the ball in frame.
Carlos Small leads the team in goals with 7 this year. Was looking for Isidro Martinez. And now 1 opportunity by the books, and here comes Phoenix Rising. What do you think if you're a team like RGV, you're up against this powerhouse in Phoenix Rising? Is it a matter of putting more pressure on them? You just try to play your game, or how do you go about it?
Well, the one thing I would definitely want to do is make sure that in the middle of the park, it's tough for them to find pockets of space to play into or to pick passes in.
RGV putting pressure. Here's an opportunity. Rodriguez has it out wide. And they've been a little more aggressive early on. It's played out of the box. Sante lost it. Here's a chance with the left foot. It's blocked away. As Junquan had a shot at it. And on the counter, here comes Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, look, that's good pressure in the midfield, and that's what you want. You have to disrupt the rhythm of Phoenix Rising, because they are definitely, they have patterns worked out. And once they get into rhythm and a flow, they are hard to stop. So disrupting that rhythm is going to be important if you're RGV tonight. So, you know, plugging up those areas, those gaps, making sure you disrupt the rhythm, and getting some pressure on their back four. Because as I said earlier on, you know, you look at their back four in Mala and Farrell. I mean, these guys can all pick a pass, and from deep, they're breaking 1 and 2 lines, getting the ball forward, which makes you very dangerous when you can do that. And then you get guys like Samuel on the ball. It becomes hard to stop.
Phoenix Rising on such a tear. They scored 30 goals over this 8-game winning streak. They've only given up 6. Just complete domination as they look to continue that today. Still, though, they've not won at ATB Park. They've had draws every time they've been here over the past 3 years, including last year. It ended in a 0-0 score, 1-1 in 2017 and 16. Early chance for Phoenix Rising. Ball goes to the left side, crossing pass up in the air. Derek out of position. And kind of a missed pass there from Phoenix Rising. An early opportunity, though.
Well, you saw the cross come in, and Tyler Derrick comes out. He gets a punch, but he also gets bumped. He bumps into his own player, and he didn't get quite a clean punch, and it came right back down the middle of the box, which is not where he wanted it, and it almost caused trouble.
Beccaro had some space as RGV dodges a bullet there. Now, here comes Phoenix Rising again, setting it up. They had a goal, their first goal, I believe it was, back on May 10th when these two teams matched up the first time. Everyone on the field touched the ball on the possession before Phoenix was able to score, and I think that just shows the difference for this team between this year and last season.
Yeah, I think, you know, look, you love to get players touching the ball. We talk a lot about just start getting, even if it's little 5-yard passes, sequences of 5-yard passes can change the whole look of everything that you're looking at. So, you know, start getting passed together. The next thing you know, you're starting to put together 5, 10. Then you start finding players in open spaces. And you start opening up chances. So, yeah, when you can start getting every player to touch a ball in a sequence, that's fantastic.
The top goal scorer in the league, Asante, on the field. He's got 12 this year. And then on the other end, Small is the leading goal scorer for RGV. He has been coming off the bench recently, but Coach Echeverria likes to get him in the starting bunch today. RGV working their way up the field. Top team in the league. They have a 3-point advantage at the top of the Western Conference over Reno. They're off tonight. RGV just 6 points out of that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. 3 points tonight, if they can pull this off, would go a long ways, not just to getting back to the playoffs, but just for their confidence if you can beat a team like Phoenix Rising.
It do amazing things for you if you can get a result. And if you get a win, 3 points would be unbelievable. I'm sure it's more than probably in the back of their minds what they think they get. They'd be really happy. They'd be probably happy with a point, to be quite fair, but that can kickstart the bigger things. And, you know, the next 2 games are against Sac Republic and Las Vegas Lights. Here we go.
Aguinaga's got a shot a little bit wide. Good pressure from that solid back line of RGV to make it difficult.
Yeah, they got a touch, so deflection, creating a corner. You know, he wanted to do better from there. He was in the middle of the box. Look, found him. He's able to take his touch in his right to open it up, but just got that. The touch came, the deflection came, pushed it wide. He would have wanted to do a little bit better. You know, from there, you'd want to score.
Corner kick number 1 for either team. Last week, Phoenix Rising had 9 corner kicks compared to just 2 for T2.
Now, that just shows the dominance in possession, and certainly possession in the attacking third.
Here's the first one. It's to the far post. And it'll go out, as it looked like maybe that was John looking for possibly a foul on RGV.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Adam John's 6'3", so they know on corners he's going to be a target. So if you're matched up, with Adam John. You got to do anything to put him off. You can't give him free headers. So, you know, if you're having to grab a little bit, push a little bit, knock a little bit, you just hope it's not too bad. You don't get, the referee doesn't see it and give you a penalty.
So good at that. Already 2 header goals this year. He's tied for 7th in total goals with 9. So off those corners, he is their top target. That might be part of what RGV quite simply has to do. Up the physicality and hope that this officiating crew gives a little lenience today.
Look, in a box, a lot of stuff goes on that the officials don't call. So I think pretty much it's got to be straight out of the WWE to get a penalty off of a corner.
Tyler Derrick making the start tonight. He's seen some time with the Houston Dynamo. Good test for him. We work our way to the 10-minute mark. 2 teams at different spots in the standings, but RGV had that incredible April. They've lost some players since then, but an undefeated month. They're working to try to get back to that level of play, and Coach Echeverri has them really progressing. They haven't allowed a goal in 3 of their last 4 contests, so the defense has been stellar. It's a matter of just getting some goals.
Yeah, I think the problem is they haven't scored over the last 3 games.
A tough task today. Asante trying to keep that in play. He does force a corner. 5'2", leads the league in goals and assists. Here's a chance. John overran it just a bit. Still on play. Musa's shot is a little bit tall.
Ooh, just didn't stay over. Head down, toe down is the rule there. But you see them going quick. So that's good. If you know they're not ready, you always talk to the team, RGV, be switched on because the restart can come fast. You have a look here, he just wasn't able to get over it, and he just put it beyond the crossbar, but you know, he'll certainly have wanted to put that on target.
And Moose has been playing some really good soccer over the past couple of weeks.
You're starting to see Phoenix beginning to get comfortable. That was their 2nd corner. You're starting to see them really grow into this game.
Always dangerous when a team like Phoenix Rising starts to find their rhythm. A couple looks at corners. I mean, we're only 11 minutes in. They've already had 2. RJV pressured early, and now Phoenix has found their footing.
That's what you don't want right there. You want to avoid those balls right there at all costs. But for me, again, I'd be looking to try to get a little bit more pressure on the 2 center backs for Phoenix, Mala and Farrell. I would want to try and disrupt the rhythm. I'd want to try and disrupt that passing ability as much as I could.
It seemed like Coach Echeverri was thinking the same thing with that 4-4-2 lineup, getting some more pressure in that backfield.
Well, with 2 strikers up top, you'd be able better to get pressure, but because again, for me, Mala and Farrell, they as good as anybody in the league at picking a pass.
Phoenix Rising working to the right side. Baquero with it, reverses field. And this could lead to just be a throw in on this sideline. Nope, it stayed in play. And here comes RJV on the counterattack. Their back line's been solid, but an interception there. Phoenix Rising might be able to take advantage of that.
2 players not on the same page at all right there.
Asante with it. Buyas to his right side. Asante works on a double team. Towards the box, ball's up in the air. Adams battles with it against John. John says it was last touched by Adams. And they're going to say it's a goal kick.
That was well read by Adams, and you saw his positioning. He was able to shepherd the ball out. So well done by him. And look at the attention that Asante Samuel's drawing. 2 players around him, blanketing him anytime he gets near a ball.
Yeah, Samuel's such an athletic player, 22-year-old from Tampa, Florida. He has an assist. Didn't play last week against Tacoma, but a very aggressive player in the midfield and can really make things happen. Definitely a point of focus for Phoenix Rising today. Baquero trying to find the box, turned away by RGV. Nice pass to Small as he tries to go to work at midfield. Toros looking for their first win since June 15th. Their first goal, what they're looking for since June 15th. They have 3 clean sheets since then, which is impressive. But offensively, they're looking for a spark. Adams in the backfield, the captain of the team. What a great year he's had. Intercepted there, though, by John. He's looking to push. Calistri. RGV swarms him, and he pulls back.
You saw right there, they're looking to pressure on certain balls. That was certainly not a good ball that was struck back to Mala. It was under hit, so then you come into pressure. Now you're starting to disrupt their rhythm.
And that's something as a player you recognize if a ball is maybe kicked a little bit short. Yeah, you push up.
There's visual cues. There's things that you look for. Look at that. Asante, every time he gets it, 2 players around him.
He was looking for maybe a foul there, didn't get it.
Handball. I think he thought it was a handball.
Be a throw on the near side. RGV has played on the defense a majority of this first half so far.
Look, I mean, you know, they're minute 15, and you know the shots on goal haven't been that much. So, as much as maybe the possession's starting to favor our Phoenix, when you limit a team in shots and you limit their opportunities, you're in the game. But defending for long periods of time is hard. At some point in time, you're going to want to get a hold of the ball and get some possession for yourself.
This back line is good, but they can't hold forever. As here's Asante trying to save it, crosses towards the box. Adams plays it out. It'll be a throw-in.
Again, good positioning by Adams. Adam, yeah, he did really, really well. He reads it. He does read the game very, very well. Puts himself in good positions, and that's what you want to do as a defender.
Incredibly smart. Just 22 years old, and he plays like he's got a lot more soccer experience under him.
Yeah, very calm.
Here's a shot. Right there waiting for it, though, is Derek.
He has a lot of composure, Kyle Adams, which you certainly want as a center back. You know, steady, be able to organize in front of them, position themselves and the players around them well.
A misplay near the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Phoenix Rising. They started this 8-game winning streak way back in May against RGV. That was in Arizona. They've had a slew of Western Conference contests since then, and they haven't lost one yet. Small. Trying to give RGV the advantage. Going out wide. Rodriguez. And Phoenix Rising handles that pretty easily. Now they work on the counter. Aginaga to the sideline.
Yeah, a bit sloppy there. Ball wanted to get through, and he's trying to square it off.
Martinez, one of the top passers in this team, back to Adams. Both these teams trying to find their footing in this match. Phoenix Rising's never lost to RGV. They've won 3 times. All those were home victories. RGV has forced draws each time these teams have played here at ATB Park.
This game right now kind of has a bit of a lazy feel to it.
The heat, 95.
For sure.
Yeah.
The heat is a factor. There's no doubt. When you go down into Texas and you get some of that wind coming across and the heat, no doubt that that's a factor.
Could the teams be pacing themselves too, thinking about the long run here?
Well, it's hard. You can't go high pressure for long periods of time. Then yeah, you're going to run into problems. So you have to pick and choose your times that you're going to go into high pressure. Possession, a lot of these teams just want to keep the ball. And I think what you're seeing out of RGV right now is they're fairly content to sit in and defend. But they're going to get a lot of players behind the ball and try and make it very difficult for Phoenix to find gaps, to find players, to get into that, again, that rhythm. And once they really start finding that rhythm, they're a hard team to stop.
See it right there. They have to bring it back to Asante, who fires with the right foot. And again, Derek is waiting.
I mean, unless that's like hit unbelievably well, a goalkeeper's never going to struggle from that distance, from 20, 30 yards. A goalkeeper, they can see shots like that. It's never really going to trouble them. Like I said, unless it's hit unbelievably well.
Asante can do it too, if there's one guy that can.
Yeah, if there's a guy you think that in the form he's in, yeah, I wouldn't doubt anything.
Fun matchup. Asante leads the league in assists and goals this year. Tyler Derrick, 83 appearances with Houston Dynamo over his career. He is between the pipes tonight for RGV. He's been very good in a small amount of time with the Toros.
So much time he's taking here. Just killing time. The longer we have the ball, the longer you don't have it.
Veteran move there?
Oh, for sure. He's been in these types of games against hot teams, and you know when you play against teams, you do want to take the air out of the game as much as possible. Oof, goodness gracious.
Some contact there, and going down is Musa as he holds that left thigh. Been a pretty clean contest so far. Hardly a whistle.
Well, this one certainly comes. That's way late. That is a bit clumsy, a bit reckless, a bit late.
Kevin Rodriguez making his third straight start for RGV. Talented fourth-round pick in the 2019 MLS draft. Very high on him. A lot of good young talent for this RGV team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the job, really, isn't it? To develop talent and to push them on, and they've managed to do that quite well this season.
Yeah, Coach Echeverry's roster much different than when the season started, but in part because he's done a great job developing this wonderful young talent he has.
That's his job, you know. And again, you know, when you look at the players that they've managed to push through that are now playing up with Houston, you know, you can say job well done. Maybe it hasn't made a difference in wins and losses necessarily, or wins and, you know, some successes for RGV, but for the grand scheme, the bigger picture, he's done a great job.
Toros had that undefeated April. And with roster changes, things have slowed up just a bit, as there was a...
that ball came back, it was bouncing. That wasn't an easy ball.
Played well by Lubin. That could have been trouble, though.
Yeah, I mean, the ball's bouncing. The keeper did a good job just to get the ball away. I mean, you certainly don't have too much of a chance, so get it out of danger.
Maybe RGV smelling a good opportunity here. A couple shots on goal for Phoenix Rising, but they haven't been anything too challenging for Tyler Derrick as the Toros try to get a good opportunity. Right now, Phoenix Rising winning nearly 85% of the duels, so those opportunities at midfield they've controlled. As you were saying, Tom, RGV's bringing that defense back, and they've contained them pretty well.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're definitely sitting deep. They're allowing Phoenix to have a ball in a certain area of the park, just making sure that they can't play in the middle. They're making sure you can't find Solomon Asante. And Solomon Asante has been fairly quiet so far in this game. Again, they've had a couple shots, nothing really troubling for that guy right there, Tyler Derrick. So for RGV right now, I think they'd be thinking, okay, we've managed it well to this point. If you're Phoenix, they'll say, look, we've had a lot of the ball. We want to continue to be patient. We want to continue to move the ball around. They might want to make it a bit more crisp, get the ball moving a bit quicker.
It's about the time in the first matchup between these two teams that RGV got behind. Phoenix Rising struck first. About 20 minutes in last time. Small plays it back to Derrick. Again, taking his time, milking the clock. Trying to go over the top, get a player running. It was Rodriguez chasing, and he just got beat to the ball. Battle for it. Vaquero. He tries to spin away. Good pressure from Monroy. I mean, he's been a really nice spark plug for this RGV team over the past few weeks. Over the top to Asante, and an offsides call is made. Asante argues, I thought that was pretty clear, though.
Well, I think you always have to have a look, but ball came from pretty deep area. You have to get it timed just right, but he's in a wide area, so I mean, he really should just have to look along the line before he goes.
Rodriguez. Bird with it. Here's maybe a chance. Across from Junko. Nobody home. A little bit over small. Bit of a sloppy pass and turned back to RGV.
Yeah, that's not a good pass. It is a bit sloppy, but you see that the bigger ball out, you're finding your target, John up top, and then he wants to immediately touch it off and find Vaquero, who then wants to try and find the fullback that's overlapping, but that first touch just didn't let you get all that accomplished.
Nicely done by Rodriguez, able to keep that one away from Asante. As RGV, very patient team. The captain Adams.
Yeah, he's having a right look. See, that's where he wanted the ball to go initially.
That's where it goes now, and here comes an opportunity for RGV. Quickly, though, it's stamped out by Phoenix Rising. The home team keeps it on their side. Monroy. He's got great footwork. Nice little touch pass. Maybe a bit behind. Still here, though, for RGV. Small leads the team with 7 goals. He tries to match this up on the defender, Dia. Small across and kick back out.
This is a good moment for RGV right here. They're able to get forward. They're able to start finding players in combination. They're creating some opportunity. This is good. This is, I said, eventually you want to get some of the ball. You want to have it for yourself to create some opportunities. So they've weathered a bit of a storm. Now they're able to create some chance.
As we kind of mentioned in the beginning, the longer this game goes, 0-0, the more confidence RGV gains.
I say a storm, not really much of a storm, but they've weathered a lot of possession.
Sure.
From Phoenix.
That back line has been impenetrable so far for RGV. Let's see if they can keep it up as John takes it away. Toros have been good at midfield too, though. This time John has some space he's looking to run. Asante is to his right. Here's Adam John working on Adams. A left-footed shot's a bit wide.
He decided to go for himself, and I know that Solomon Asante is got his head up going, I wish you'd have pulled that back to me as I was trailing. And he had a look at him right there. You see it, but I think once you get that far, I think he thought maybe I couldn't make the pass is the only thing I could think. And he thought maybe he could beat Derek Lowe to his near post, but if that's me, I mean, Solomon Asante's the league's leading goal scorer. I might be pulling that ball back for Solomon Asante.
Yeah, Coach Chance probably thinking the same thing. John only has 1 left-footed goal this year. He's one of the top goal scorers in the league, but not as strong from the left side. That time, Adams, the intelligent defender, forced him to that left foot.
Obviously, he wanted a second left-footed goal.
Here's another chance, though.
But he's still stuck on 1 now.
Aguinaga in the box. And that back line for RGV so tough. Vaquero able to keep it on the Phoenix Rising side. Here's Musa, who's been playing some really good soccer over the past few weeks. Ball deflected. And Small takes it away. The home team holding their own right now. Small touches to the right side. Racing towards the boxes, Enriquez. Turned away by the back line of Dia. And now it will be played back by Lubin.
Yeah, RGV's trying to take advantage of any little thing that they can get. Most of the stuff's coming. I mean, except that last little spot where they had that nice combination of work where they're playing a series of one-touch passing.
Asante quickly spins it in. Not a bad pass. He was looking for John. It goes through everybody. That's why Asante is the league leader in assists right there.
Well, you look at Kyle Adams, and he knew that he had Adam John behind him. That's a good ball. That's a really good ball in. Yeah, well, it's a smart low on the ground. But, you know, Adams, again, sliding to stretch it out. He does get beyond him, but it was still not able to get to John. John was still a bit too far away to get to it. Good-looking ball, though.
Coach Chance, what a year he's had. Coach of the month in June, along with his top goal scorer, Asante. He was the player of the month in June. A stretch where Phoenix Rising went 5-0-0, undefeated. The last time these teams met, they were almost in identical spots in the standings after RGV had that great start. In fact, the Toros actually had a slight advantage on Phoenix Rising. Since then, Phoenix Rising has just been unstoppable.
What a difference a year makes, right?
RGV hanging in there, though. Asante over the top. Dumbuya just past him. And a goal kick coming up.
Junqua doing a good job of just sitting in deep because they know they've watched this Phoenix Rising team, and they know that guys like Mustafa Dumbuya, Amadou Diat, they're gonna get wide because Solomon Asante, Joey Kalishi, those guys are gonna tuck in. They're gonna get in that middle. They're trying to look for that pass that breaks the line so they can turn and then find those fullbacks getting forward. But Junqua, again, good discipline, sitting in that gap.
Here's Bird. He's got a little pocket of space. Touch to the right side, and an offsides is called.
Again, Enriquez, just look along the line. You're the widest player. If you're a wide player, it should be hard to be offside. But let's have a look. Let's see if he was.
Enriquez.
Maybe I'm a little critical on Enriquez. Well, I can't tell from there, but to me, he might have been. Because from what I just saw there, I think he might have been. And again, look along the line. You're wide. You just look across the pitch, and you can tell if you're beyond a defender.
It's like a receiver in football. When you line up before the play, you can clearly see the line. Just make sure you're a tad bit behind it.
Exactly.
Although I would argue maybe a little bit tougher in soccer because you're moving, you're in the middle of the play. In time, though, he'll get that down. RGV continues to maintain solid possession after Phoenix Rising really dominated those first 20 minutes.
Yeah, if I'm them right now, keep the ball. You've just gone through a pretty long period where you didn't have it. So now, let's keep it. Let's start getting some touches of our own put together.
Phoenix Rising 10-2-5. What a year they're having. The past couple months, they've been on fire. Winners of 8 straight in a row. One more ties a Western Conference record. RGV had a great month of April. They've lost some players, some turnover, which happens. And they've still maintained a solid play, great defensive group, trying to get their goal scoring going. They've had a few opportunities here, which is tough to do against Phoenix Rising. As Asante battled against the Junqua, and he's pleading his case, and it looks like he might get hit with a yellow.
He's pleading his case, but the judge says you're getting a yellow. Have a look, he got position. He was definitely, look, he's clever. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was beat, and he tries to get an extra bump on him. He was going to goal. I mean, no doubt Junqua was going to, he wasn't going off the concession stand to get a hot dog. So, you know, you have to do, if you're Solomon Asante, you got to do what you got to do. He was trying to get away with not getting yellow, but he had to foul him.
Asante, he scored in 7 straight contests. That's just absolutely incredible. But he does have a yellow card, so we'll see if that impacts his level of aggressiveness.
It's a dangerous free kick. I mean, right now you could whip this in pretty good at the near post.
They go to the middle of the box. The shot is headed away. Not a bad look, though. Still on the RGV side.
Was it handball?
And they look like they might call it as Enriquez had it for a second.
That's handball.
And the official made the call. Yep, you're right. Handball.
Yep. Mal was trying to say my arm was tucked in beside me. Well, I'd have to get a second look at that. I'm not 100% sure on that. If you're going out and your intent is to block a ball and you block it with your arm, it's a handball. I mean,
Elton Garcia, such a well-respected referee.
So if we have a look here, I could see where Mal is coming from, but I don't know.
Get a set piece right outside the box. Another good opportunity here for RGV.
He was jumping, his arm was in the air, so I think the referee's made a good decision for me. So this is gonna be an outswinger here. Interesting. The other was an in-swinger, but it was well taken. It was well created free kick. So you have a look there. Yeah, he's jumping up a little bit. He's trying to block the ball, hits his arm, handball.
Gets played back. Ball was blocked out. Now Phoenix Rising avoids 2 potential catastrophes and has the possession. RGV continues to build confidence, though. No score. A little over a year ago, these teams met up right here at HEB Stadium, and it ended in a 0-0 draw. Seche, a tough place to play. The heat, it's 95 degrees. We were talking ahead of time, though. It's not too humid, and of course, if there's a team that's used to it, it's Phoenix Rising.
Look, it's the same for both teams, and yeah, Phoenix is used to playing in hot climate. I mean, it gets hot in Arizona, so that'll be nothing new for them.
RGV historically very good at home, 22, 13, and 12 at home. What a tough team to beat here. Musa. Here's a pass towards the box, a little bit ahead of the cutting player. That was Calistri on the run.
Look, that's good ball movement, and trying to spring Calistri in behind ball ultimately was hitting a little bit too heavy. But, you know, that's not bad ball movement by Phoenix. Again, you're getting those touches, you're playing it from right to left, and then you're able to find the runner coming in behind.
Coach Rick Chance took over last year for Phoenix Rising. Here's a chance. Pass cross in the box. Adams, their captain, was waiting for it.
Look it. Well read again.
He has been fantastic in this first half. That one's headed away as his back line continues to play well for RGV.
Yeah, look at that. Well done, Kyle Adams. Puts himself in the right spot. Able to cut out the cross. Knew it was coming. Yeah, he's got a future ahead of him. There's no doubt about it.
Just 22 years old, the captain from New Zealand for RGV. What a great program these Toros have under Coach Echeverry. They've put together a list of players that have really grown well in their soccer careers, and Adams might be the next one. He is really looking solid against a tough offensive team. Phoenix Rising starting to win the possession battle, though, or at least getting it back as Asante goes cross. Adams waits for it. Stays with Mboya. Musa. Aguinaga. Calistri back to Aguinaga. Musa, nice little pass towards the box, and they're going to say offsides. Yep.
That's really good ball movement, though, by Phoenix. That's the rhythm you don't want them to start getting into. As we have a look here, you see Tyler having a look back, looking where John is, but all the time coming back, keeping himself in line, sees the ball, sees John, and he knows that they're going to be looking for him. He knows that ball's going to be put on the floor. Really good job.
Didn't just clear it out, but that secondary closeout, even after he knocked it away, he was able to get out. I believe that was Aguinaga, and make him think twice about potentially going towards the goal.
Yeah, just, again, really good composure. He's got a really good soccer IQ, Tyler Adams.
He's played in all but 3 matches this year for the Toros.
I think 2 of those he was called up for a period when the Houston Dynamo were in the U.S. Open Cup.
Still no score. 37 minutes into it.
Ooh, see what happened there.
As there's some contact. And Phoenix Rising, a player is down. And took an elbow up in the neck area. That is Dia. He's taking his time, was always smart a little bit.
He's going to be up, so that's the good thing. Take a look at these players. You can tell how hot and humid. I mean, look at the shirts. I mean, all these players, their shirts are absolutely sticking to them.
Getting a quick water break, much needed. Both squads like to run.
Yeah, the humidity must because they've done no hydration break. So I don't think the humidity is that bad today in the RGV area.
I'm no weatherman, but it was saying, what, 34% humidity, precipitation? I don't think that's as high as it normally is in Edinburgh.
No, a lot of times it's much higher than that. I mean, when you start getting temperatures in like the 90s and your humidity's up at 70, 80%, that is that's difficult enough just to walk around and exist in, much less run and play.
I like the way you describe it as a hot blanket when you walk out into it.
It's like a hot, wet blanket going over.
Jesus Enriquez picked up the yellow card. He's had a good first half, and Enriquez has been very active on that far side. Had a couple potential looks. So Enriquez with a yellow, Asante with a yellow, 2 of the better strikers for both teams.
Enriquez is being naughty. Can't get your arms that high on somebody. That's out of control.
Both these teams pretty disciplined, neither near the top in terms of yellow cards this season in the USL Championship. It's been a clean first half. Phoenix Rising has had a few more opportunities, but this RGV backline has been so tough. Vaquero to John. He battles. Tall, lengthy, 6'4". And it was cleared out by Samuels.
Good job by Fuenmayor there too, because, you know, look, Fuenmayor, he's a big fella as well. And he's got hold of his shirt. He's pulling, doing anything he can to keep Adam John from going to goal.
Fuenmayor, I would say, has given up about maybe, and you're right, he's a big defensive player as well, but he's given up maybe 2-3 inches to John at least.
Yeah, I think John is 6'3", he's 5'11", so 4 inches.
Wow. John in the box, he's had a couple chances, tries to cross to Asante, and it's cleared away. This will be another corner kick, number 4 for Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, again, Junkwood, that's doing a good job. That's being where you need to be. Cover the far post area.
Actually, the 3rd corner kick. The road team had a couple early.
You like that, don't you? You like that. It's a good battle. Look, if you're Fuenmayor, you've got to play physical with John, and John's going to play physical. He's a big, strong physical. He's a big, strong physical target player. So you got to be physical with him.
Let's see if they go to John here. He's got 2 header goals this year. They do is just over the top as it rolls far back, and almost another collision.
Calistri actually got 2 touches where he only wanted 1. he got 2 for 1.
You see the ball go top.
That's a big high. That's going to favor. Keeper's going to come out on that. You see what I'm saying? He tried to turn. His left boot actually came across. He got a touch of his right onto his left and played it out of bounds. But that, you know, that big high looping, that time favors the defense. So that enables Tyler Derrick to go out and get underneath it. So for me, I want those balls driven in.
Phoenix Rising going for its 9th straight win. It's first at HEB Stadium. RGV seeking its first win against Phoenix Rising. They've drawn twice and they've lost twice against this very tough team of the Western Conference. No score, 41 minutes in.
Go back to that corner. I mean, when you got a guy like John who's 6'3" and can get on the other end, yeah, you hang it up and go get it, big fella.
And I think all 3 corners so far, and they should, Phoenix Rising has gone to John every time.
Yeah, I mean, he more times than not, he wins his duel. But, you know, again, you've got Tyler Derrick, and Tyler Derrick's 6'3" as well. But he can put his arms up. So he's 6'3", jumping with his arms up, way taller than Adam John. So that's what I'm saying. Balls driven in are much harder to deal with as a keeper than ones floated in.
And is it simply that if you're a tall keeper, if they're driven in, you're right there, you can put your hands up?
Well, if you're driven in, it's just something different. Somebody just gets a flick, and then the ball's right by you. So, you know, those balls that are driven in and whipped in that come in with pace are just much harder to deal with. Again, when that ball's up in the air and it's hanging, you got time to read it, you got time to get underneath it, and then you're up jumping with your hands extended. So when you're 6'3" and your hands are extended and you're jumping, you're taller than any player on the pitch.
I would imagine it's a little nerve-wracking too, and these keepers are so used to it. When the ball is up in the air and you have 4 or 5 people going for it, when you leave your feet, maybe you worry about getting knocked over possibly.
But that's a foul, so that favors you as well. So here we go.
Ball towards the box. Vaquero. Back out. We work our way to halftime. Phoenix Rising trying to maybe deliver a big blow before the break. Dumbuya. He misses his man.
I'll tell you what, Junk was having himself a decent game as well. At least defending. He's doing his job. He's doing a good job.
And Junqua getting the start today.
And if it's a side of the pitch you need to be good on, it's going to be your left side, Phoenix's right side, because that's where most of the danger players are, especially Solomon Asante.
That's been the story today. The backline of Samuels, Junqua, Fuenmayor, and Adams have been very good for RGV, impenetrable. They've been able to keep this high-scoring Phoenix Rising team in check. Asante, he does have 1 shot on goal, but I would say it was from a good 30, 40 yards out. And he picked up a yellow as well. Played at midfield, Martinez. Monroy. And a foul is called. It's on Musa.
Yeah, it's just, again, the game's just, it's slow. I mean, the heat's going to have an effect on that, but you can start picking up your pace. It's the ball movement. Your ball movement can be quick. You might not have to run it a lot, but let that ball move quickly.
I mentioned earlier, I may have misspoke, RGV has allowed 1 goal or less in 3 of their last 4 matches. Not 3 clean sheets, but still pretty impressive. And of course, Phoenix Rising in this winning streak. They've just been dominant. 30-6, they're outscoring their opponents. So both teams defensively have been good over the past, month and a half.
Yeah, and that's much better for RGV because, I mean, they're a team that's conceded a lot. That's been one of their biggest problems this season. I mean, now at home, much better. At home, they're sit at a +7. They got 16 goals and 9 against at home. It's going on the road where they have a bit of a problem. Then they've conceded 23 away from home. They're a -9 away from home as Joey Calistri's down.
Yeah, Derek and Calistri collided.
Checking himself and fixing his shoe.
Looks like he'll be okay. Players drenched in sweat, 95 degrees. Moderate humidity, though, here in Edinburgh, Texas. Most coaches say one of the tougher places to play.
Oh, you see that they kind of knocked his knee, knocked into his leg, and that can be a bit painful.
Those always smart. Pushing his RGV on the attack. Ball is wide towards the middle. Small with it. He sets his feet.
Oh, no.
Had maybe an earlier shot if he wanted to take it, as 2 minutes of bonus time is added. RGV still with it, though. Coming out and diving on its Lubin. May have been offsides anyway.
Rodriguez did a good job and picked out Small. He really needed to do better there. That was a great opportunity for RGV to put themselves up.
Small, the leader in goals scored, has 7, maybe a bit passive there, though.
Oh, needed to be a lot less passive. Needed to be aggressive.
Now Phoenix Rising.
I don't think he could take it. If anything, that ball, if you could have taken that with 1 touch, is what you wanted. Uh-oh, got a foul there.
As Bird pleads his case.
Let's have a look here. Did you see Rodriguez? Great ball. Oh, the touch just let him down. Oh, he wanted that ball to set better for himself. As it came across, he wanted to set it on his right, but the touch was just, the touch killed him.
The better option would have been just to take it with the right foot, probably right away.
Well, if you could, it was a difficult ball, but if you could have, yeah, I don't know if he could have, to be honest with you, the angle he was at. And I think he did a good job, but the touch just like that didn't open up for him as well as he wanted to. Here we go. Aguinaga just having a look at Eric Bird, kind of just blocking him off.
So here's Baquero.
Yeah, interesting. This is a dangerous area for a free kick.
The last probably good opportunity either team gets before half. Baquero lines it up off the side.
It hit his chest.
It looks like it may have hit the chest.
Oh, I see what it hit. What was his head?
Yeah, Martinez. Usually when you go down like that for a moment, likely hit him in the head. Let's see.
Let's have a look here. He jumps. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, look at him. Taking one for the team.
Martinez stepping in front of it. Nice defensive play. As he eliminates a good opportunity for Phoenix Rising as we approach the half. If that goes through, that could have been a tough angle.
You never know. I tell you what, full credit right there. Full credit for doing what you got to do. And look, and the referee's going, "Hey, I've got to stop it." It hit him in the head, man. I mean, and that ball is moving. That's enough to make you a little wobbly.
I'm impressed. Martinez took it well, pops back up.
He was down for a second, and you would be. You're going to be down for just a second. That doesn't feel necessary. That doesn't feel nice.
So neither team able to score as we work our way to halftime. Good sportsmanship from Baquero there to give Martinez a 5 as he walks towards the sideline. Phoenix Rising's had a couple shots on goal. None of them have been great, though. They've been from deep. A couple corner kicks, but they've been played well by RGV. The best opportunity for the Toros was likely moments ago when Small had a look at it at the top of the box. Just took maybe a split second too long.
Yeah, his first touch just didn't set him up well.
Phoenix Rising trying to win number 9 in a row, but the Toros are giving them a hard time right now. We are moments away from halftime. Baquero beats the defender, taps it back out. The bender, left side, played well by the back line. Aguinaga will retreat, and that will take us to halftime. Phoenix Rising and RGV, no score at the break. Defense has dominated so far. That favors RGV as they try to steal a point away from Phoenix Rising. They're doing well so far. No score at the half.
The more we are together with nature, the more we are together, the better we'll be. There's forests and rivers, mountains and valleys. The more we are together, the better we'll be.
For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank has grown along with our customers. Together, we have helped transform South Texas, raised families, and planted roots to create opportunities that benefit not the few, but the many, to plan and build for a better tomorrow, to imagine what is possible. That is how you build strong communities and a strong bank, one generation at a time. For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
At DHR Health, we have one goal: advancing the health of the Rio Grande Valley. We're deeply committed to our community and its health. DHR Health, here for you for life.
Shop online at birdogden.com. Pick out your vehicle and click Buy Now. Work your own deal and submit your trade. It's that easy. Shop now at birdogden.com. Daligas.
The fans here at HEB Stadium have to be content with this one. RGV scoreless against the top team in the USL Championship, Phoenix Rising, at the break. Let's have a look at the standings from around the USL Championship. Of course, Phoenix Rising at the top. Reno 1868 FC. They played some great soccer. They're off tonight, though, and then Fresno right there. That's a tough battle at the top of the standings.
Yeah, you look at that. Phoenix have a game in hand on Reno 1868. If they can get 3 points tonight, I mean, that's really putting some distance early on between them and just about everybody else. But you know, some of these teams, it doesn't take much for someone else to get on a run and start really putting pressure on you. So there's 3 big points out there tonight for sure, and important for RGV as well because they want to keep pushing to get higher in the standings.
Yeah, RGV just 6 points behind that 8th spot in the standings. Let's have a look at some scores around the league. Colorado Spring Switchbacks against Tulsa Roughnecks FC. That's the score of your RGV. You want to watch those teams right around them in the standings.
Wow, I mean, that's a good result right now for Colorado Springs. I know that's a needed win for them. I know they'll be looking for 3 points. And Austin as well, up on Orange County 2-1. So good game going there. And later on tonight, I'd be looking at that Sacramento Republic Portland Timbers 2 match. And then as well, Fresno and New Mexico United, some tasty games on tonight.
RGV has a bit of a favorable schedule as they work their way through the next couple of weeks. They have some home games coming up against Sacramento Republic FC and Reno 1868. That will be a challenge, but both of those here at HEB.
Well, you look at it, and certainly Sacramento game at home. I mean, if they can get any kind of result tonight, man, that can kickstart you. You want to get a good result against Sacramento. Next thing you know, you're going to Vegas with a good chance. You could be looking maybe to put yourself in playoff positions if they can really get something out of these next 3 games.
No score at the break. We'll look at some news and notes in the power rankings when we come back. It's halftime here at HEB Stadium.
And everyone in section 113 gets a free
Nice little cut in. Here's a blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC. What a rip from Connor Presley as Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it. Watch out! The way and in.
The boys in purple have dominated.
Ownby charging on, curling the cross. That's excellent from Hoffenau. His first goal in Louisville colors. What a finish for Louisville. They lead. Cicerone again hitting the cross with Pace Greg. And there's one. The response from Kyle Gregg. Russell Cicerone with tremendous service in this second half.
Not statistically kept unless you're keeping a track on mileage. Does a lot off the ball to draw space for his teammates.
Collier weaving his way through. Elliot Collier for the hat trick. There it is! Elliot Collier. It's a great opportunity again here for the Hounds.
He goes for goal.
What a shot! What a goal!
Right to party on the 4th of July. What a wonderful.
And when the emotion starts to flow, everyone starts to settle in. Then you can push forward and press the goal.
Rios off the post and in. What a missile that is! Goal number 11 of the year in Rios with a phenomenal finish. Jamison can give it a go from there if he wants. Jamison is it back to Billy Forbes. Billy, right foot. Billy puts it in the back of the net.
Warm night here at ATB Stadium. No score between RGV and Phoenix Rising. Let's have a look at some news and notes around the league. A busy week in the USL Championship. Phoenix Rising's FCs, you see him right here, the man of the month, Solomon Asante. What a month he had. USL Championships June Player of the Month.
7 goals and 4 assists in a month. Yeah, was it even a race? Was there anybody else even considered? No, I think he made that an easy case for himself. And again, I mean, just so well-deserving. Those stats are unbelievable.
Good run for New Mexico United and St. Louis FC at that Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
Look, they're going to split a purse between them for advancing the farthest of USL clubs. It was great to see 2 USL clubs advancing that far, and both really doing a great job throughout the tournament. I know it was a tough night for both teams in that quarterfinal, but did a good job.
And, of course, the Canadian Crown got off to a nice start as well. Let's have a look at the power rankings. Phoenix Rising FC at the top for the 3rd straight week. We might see some movement, though, as Indy 11 lost earlier tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Will we see some movement? But because it's 0-0 here, Indy lost. So, yeah, you might see some changes. But that looks like a good top 10 to me. Pretty accurate as far as I can tell.
Louisville City FC rising quickly at that number 7 spot. Scoring leaders around the league, Solomon Asante, we've been talking about him. He's been great for Phoenix Rising.
Look, at the big thing for me, Solomon Asante, is not only his 12 goals, he's got 9 assists. He leads the league there as well. But Kevon Frater, I mean, that guy can score goals, and he's right on his heels. And you got Daniel Rios at Nashville as well, 11 goals. I mean, that goal-scoring race, who's going to get the Golden Boot? That is too tight to call.
A fun match for the Golden Boot. We'll be watching that throughout the year. Player of the Week, Elliot Collier. We saw him on that highlight package. He had the first hat trick in 901 FC's history.
Is that special? I mean, to do something, a hat trick is always special, but then to have it be history-making and be the first in your franchise's history, that is just fantastic stuff as well. You have a look at the gentleman from St. Louis, Cicerone. I mean, we saw the goal he scored as they were showing that through halftime, and I mean, an unbelievable goal for him.
Yeah, a lot of young talent there on that list. We'll break and come back and look at some highlights and stats from that first half. No score from ATB Stadium.
The more we are together with nature, the more we are together, the better we'll be. There's forests and rivers, mountains and valleys. The more we are together, the better we'll be.
For For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank has grown along with our customers. Together, we have helped transform South Texas, raised families, and planted roots to create opportunities that benefit not the few, but the many. To plan and build for a better tomorrow, to imagine what is possible. That is how you build strong communities and the strong bank, one generation at a time. For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. Customization is what we've always done. We have mustard, mayo, ketchup. It's all up to you.
When you customize your own burger, you can put your personality in it.
Mayonnaise, ketchup, no cheese. This is my Whataburger.
We customize orders 24 hours a day.
Everybody wants it just like they like it. When you can make it your own, that always enhances that experience for you.
They're just happy to do whatever makes you happy.
However you want it, I got you. Here at Whataburger, we make it just like you like it, whenever you like it.
Hola Bruce, bienvenido a Taquería Manu. ¿Taquería Manu? Mi nueva pasión ahora que estoy retirado. Desde que probé las carnes marinadas, mi tienda para tacos son fáciles y rapidísimos de hacer. A ver, dale, mira esto. Elige el sabor que quieras. ¡Híjole! ¡Qué rico! Provecho, Bruce. Gracias, hermano.
Carnes Marinadas, mi tienda de H-E-B, celebrando nuestra cultura, costumbres y pasión.
No score between RGV and Phoenix Rising. Tom, that's exactly what you're hoping for if you're the home team against this scorching hot Phoenix Rising squad.
Yeah, you're not dissatisfied right now if you've held the hottest team in the league. The team has scored 30 goals over the 8-game win streak to 0. And you've really limited the opportunities that they've had. That right there, really good chance. And I thought they should have taken better advantage of that at that point. But for me, it's just been their low block. They've sat in. They've defended well. They've positioned well. I've pointed out Junqua, who's played very well. I've pointed out Kyle Adams, who's played very well. And they've really kept Solomon Asante quiet. I thought in this run, if you look, if he could have cut that back, I don't know if he could have. If he could have, you'd want him to, but I think Adams had really good positioning.
Yeah, John working on Adams there, who was just fantastic in that first half. The captain for RGV. Asante, you saw him have that shot on goal earlier. Here was his best pass. It was a good look to John, just a little bit in front of him, but give credit to that back line to Adam. He played it perfectly.
Oh, it was a tantalizing ball. And yes, Kyle Adams, his positioning was good, but the ball was just absolutely tantalizing. And you look here, I mean, this is probably one of the two best chances, I think, that RGV have had on the night so far. Well-rehearsed free kick, but you've got to credit, I believe it was Malik getting in to break that up.
And a couple set pieces that just didn't quite work out for RGV.
Yeah, but you know what? The games are going to present these chances, and that's what we talked about. When you get that opportunity, you want to make it count, and this is what I'm talking about, because he had a chance right there. His first touch needed to be so much cleaner. He might have had an opportunity to put RGV up 1-0 at that point, but his first touch let him down a bit.
Look at some stats from that first half. Shots close to even. Phoenix Rising a small advantage. They had those 2 shots on goal, but neither were great looks. Pretty easy for the keeper. Possession-wise, Phoenix Rising dominating, but that hasn't played a massive difference so far.
Yeah, some of that possession's been in their own half in an area that RGV has said, go ahead and have that. We're not going to pressure you there. So when you're playing back and forth across the back, it adds to your possession stat, but it doesn't really mean much. When you look at it, the shots on target 2-0, those shots have been somewhat tame, not troubling for Tyler Derrick, and shots overall even. I think definitely Phoenix has had more of the ball and probably had more in RGV's end, but it's been an even game so far.
No score as we work our way into the second half. Phoenix Rising has been great recently. They had that 8-game winning streak that's still intact, of course. They've outscored opponents 30-6 during that streak, just as to how good RGV's been so far today.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the game's been slow so far. And they've taken away every bit of space from Phoenix Rising and not let them really get into the rhythm that they like to get into. And I think that's had a lot to do with it.
As Phoenix Rising trying to get on the board in the second half, and Coach Shantz, he's seen his team score very frequently recently. You just saw that final part of the graphic. Oftentimes they scored 3+ goals, but so far they've been held in check. Let's see if Coach makes any changes in the second half.
Well, I mean, I think you might tell them to make sure the ball is moving a bit quicker. But this is a team that has a lot of belief in themselves. I mean, they were in a close game last week as well with Portland Timbers and Portland Timbers too, and they had to dig it out. But it's a team that doesn't. They have a lot of belief in themselves. They've got good chemistry, and they've really built themselves very well up until this point.
Players had time to freshen up at halftime. Hot night in Edinburgh, Texas. A substitution for RGV as Bird comes out. Good first half. Rodriguez is in, maybe a little more speed there for the home team. In the box, early look and waiting for it was the keeper for RGV, Tyler Derrick.
Yeah, but that's, if you're Phoenix right there, you've just got your main man, Solomon Asante, with a look on frame, and you want that early on in this half. And look at there, he takes a good quick touch to get past Kyle Adams. Wants to be a little better, but that's a good sign, encouraging. You're immediate right from the kickoff. You've created a chance.
Asante has scored in 7 straight games. He's got 2 shots on goal so far. That might have been the best look for Phoenix Rising tonight. RGV's done such a good job, and we just talked about it in the first half, of bringing the defensive back, setting up that back line, and being very difficult to get towards the middle of the field against, if I'm saying that correctly.
No, that's, again, that's what they want. Again, and just here we go, have a look here.
A chance for Phoenix Rising. It's closed out nicely by Funmayor. It'll be a corner here. I'd say it's a goal kick, rather, for RGV.
Yeah, they're keeping good disciplines between their lines. They're playing a really good low, tight block. And that's, again, it's just giving Phoenix a hard time trying to find guys like Calistri there, who was just on a ball. Solomon Asante. It could have been a corner. You have a look at that. Might have been. He might have had a little. Should have pled his case a bit more.
That was my thought when he knocked it out. I thought for sure that would lead to the first corner of the second half.
Where was the appeal?
Calistri being a nice guy. Not one to argue with the official as Akinaka goes down again.
Maybe he's being told he should have appealed his case a bit more, but that's going to be a foul on Aguinaga there.
Phoenix Rising tries to control the tempo to start this one. As RGV pleading their case. Rodriguez just checked in, talking to the lead referee, Elton Garcia, who's done a great job tonight. Now a set piece here for Dia. He was looking over the field, trying to find somebody, I think, closer towards the box. Instead, just plays it conservatively. Phoenix Rising's outscored their opponents 30-6 on this incredible 8-game run. And RGV has had the answers today. They've won 8 straight. Their last loss was May 4th. The team they beat to start this winning streak was RGV. That was in Arizona. Now the Toros on the run. Crossing pass. Maybe a chance. Almost an own goal. That went wide right, and a corner coming up.
Well, sometimes that's what you got to do. And if that was Joseph Farrell, you don't know what's behind you. You got to put your leg out. You put your leg out, deflections happen, and that one looked scary. I mean, that's squeaky bum time if you're Phoenix. And certainly if you were Zach Lubin, because he went, uh-oh. He goes, I can't get to that. He goes, if that's anywhere near the far post, it's going in.
Squeaky bum time might not be over here as Martinez has a corner kick. An opportunity for the home team. Played up in the air. Enriquez towards the box and kicked out. That could have been a disaster scenario for Phoenix Rising.
Own goals are never anything but disastrous, but
especially in a 0-0 tie.
Well, especially when you're trying to move to make yourself from an 8-game winning streak to a 9-game winning streak. But
out top, Musa.
It just looks like it needs more urgency. This game needs a little bit more urgency if you're Phoenix, but you got to be careful because, again, you don't want to open yourself up to a counter and create an opportunity for RGV and make it even tougher for yourself.
John had a nice touch in the box to Baquero. Now he plays it and just sends it above the post.
Like I said, again, just start to pick up. Let's make the passing crisper. Let's start to try and play more on 1 and 2 touch. Start to find a rhythm.
John did it a little bit there, I thought. He let the defender go by, crossed it back to his left foot. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that from him and Phoenix Rising. That's kind of been their calling card this year, too, is they're not the breakneck team that they were last year, but they still have great pace, top scoring team in the league, but they are a little more patient, and they are a better passing team.
When they get into free flow, and they really do play 1 and 2 touch as well as anybody in this league, it's fun to watch and hard to stop, and usually ends up creating opportunity.
Let's see what Asante does here. He's got some space. Adams. He has had an eagle eye out for Asante. Every time that ball is out wide to the league's leader in assists, Adams is stalking him. And again, the back line for RGV. It's been the MVP tonight. Turnover. Asante touch towards the sideline. Potential crossing pass here. A little space for Musa. Now back towards the top. In the box, up in the air. And just a bit high by Dia.
Certainly want to be a little bit better on that ball back across. I think he was trying to find Solomon Asante, but the ball got away. The touch got away from him.
Dia had 2 goals against T2 last week, his first 2 of the year. We've seen him slide into more of a goal-scoring spot tonight as a defender. He was in position, just couldn't quite bring it down. Phoenix Rising controlling the tempo, though, in the second half. Akinaga. Asante. And right there is Derek.
Looking for John coming in at near post area. Ball was a little bit early. John couldn't get there, but a little bit better. You start to see the ball moving a little bit crisper is what I've been talking about. And you're starting to see them start to try and create chances for themselves off of that ball movement.
Solomon Asante, the player of the month in June, leads the league in goals and assists. So far, he's met his match in his back line of RGV.
Now, for RGV, this is what you want, and this is what they're playing for. I mean, if they can nick one and get a 1-0 lead, that's what they want. What they definitely don't want when you're playing this is for Phoenix to score, because then you've got to open up. You've got to come out and start to play. And that's when it becomes more problematic for RGV.
Now, this still is 0-0, saying the 70th, 75th minute. If you're RGV and Coach Echeverria, Small has got a little pace here. Here's Small with room. Small a chance. He just missed it off the right post.
The post was not his friend.
The best opportunity for RGV tonight, and Small knows it as he holds that right shoulder as he went down on the turf.
And what we just talked about, nicking one at the other end. Well, this was the one to nick, but it nicked the post and went out. I thought that ball would go in. Goodness gracious, round post. You never know what they're going to do. Look at that. On another day, that could hit that post and go in. Oh, my goodness gracious.
A game of inches. Carlos Small, what a player he's been this year. As Coach Echeverria, happy about the effort. Small going for his 8th goal. He's their team leader in goals. Just missed it inches. If that one is just a little bit more on the inside part of the post. As he gets a look from the trainer, RGV is on top.
Well, they would have been if that ball had gone in. Goodness me.
I think Lubin did a good job there, too. I mean, that's a tough spot to be in for a keeper.
This is one you're going to want to pay attention to. I mean, let's see how this game plays out, but we may end up coming back to this moment for RGV. Ooh, look at the tackle just come in. I think, look at Carlos Small did everything he wanted to do. Tell you what, he's got some serious art on him, doesn't he?
He is one, I think, the more tatted players in the league. Also one of the better goal scorers, top 15 in the league in goals scored from Panama, just 24 years old. Good built, 6 feet tall, athletic, as Lubin jokes with Garcia. They always like knowing the backstory of why players have certain tattoos. I'm sure Small would have a lot of good stories to share.
With as many as he's got, there's a lot of stories.
He's had a lot of goals this year, just missed number 8. So let's see how Phoenix Rising responds after a near opportunity for RGV. The Toros have played this one well. Like you said, Tom, they've held strong defensively, and then they just needed that one mistake from Phoenix Rising. They got it, couldn't quite capitalize.
Or just a creation. The game will give everybody a chance.
You saw Small, number 58, run at the bottom of your screen, so he's looking good.
And that's the one thing if you're Phoenix that you want to focus on. Yeah, you're going to have your share of possession, but you better know where Carlos Small is and certain players are when they don't have the ball.
Derek spent a lot of time with the Houston Dynamo. He's played well today in between the pipes for RGV. His long kick sets up another opportunity. The left-footed kick is played off by Lubin. Another strong strike. That one was from Rodriguez. Ball still on the foot of Rodriguez. He crosses, goes to the middle, and a corner coming up for RGV.
Wow, RGV starting to find themselves a lot of belief. Intercepted. If you take a look where it started, it got intercepted, and they were able to turn it right there into a chance off of Rodriguez. But then the ball stayed in bounds. Cross came in. So, look, right now, RGV looking like they want to be the team to strike first.
You know, Carlos Small wants to be the guy to do it, as he looks okay. Just missed a goal.
And I'll tell you what, scoring first for them, woo, that would be... Sorry about that. Cut you off right there.
As that went too small, and Phoenix Rising played it well. No, you're right, Tom. If they can get this first goal, of course, anytime you score first, it completely changes the dynamics of a match, but especially in this matchup.
Well, goals change games. That's what goals do.
Look at the footwork there from Enriquez.
Yeah, he's dancing around trying to get an opening. But if they were to score first, if you thought they've sat back and defended, wait till you see what happens if they score first. They will definitely sit back. They'll have all 11 behind the ball.
You can see the confidence rising for RGV as this one remains scoreless. Phoenix Rising, they're trying for their 9th win in a row. Now, we're not talking about a 9-game unbeaten streak. We're talking they've got 8 wins, no draws, no losses in a row. They're going for number 9. Asante, here's a chance. A left kick to the post is missed by Becerra.
That's not a bad effort at all. And that's free-flowing. From the interception at the back, they get in the midfield, transitions quickly up to Asante. He cuts it back. And that was Becerra. As you see, he just tries that clever ball, just tries to bend it to the far post.
The USL Championship has a player rating. Becerra is top 10 in the league. 4 players on this Phoenix Rising team are in that top 10. And Becerra is one of them, showing just how talented this team is.
Look at the work there by Carlos Small, dropping in the midfield to defend on Becerra.
Small has come off the bench the past couple contests, got the start today, and he's played well. Let's see if we can get him a goal. There's a little chip into the box. Racing to knock it down was Dia. Played well there, though, by Monroy. Now Becerra. As Phoenix Rising tries to set up something here. Both teams pinballing it around for a couple minutes. Calistri. He works on the sideline against Samuel. Wanted a foul. Didn't get it. Goal kick coming up.
Kalistri's going to think he was fouled. Referee seems to think that it was given and getting, and nobody really gained too much of an advantage. Rick Shantz certainly doesn't agree.
As Coach Shantz was pleading for the foul as well.
Both arms are out. Calistri gets in front. I can see where everybody's going. I can see where Calistri has, where he'd plead his case, and I can see the referee goes, no, I'm not going to give it.
Could go either way there. This crew's done such a good job. Head referee Elton Garcia. Physicality's picked up a little bit in this second half. It's been clean though, not a lot of fouls. Both teams have a yellow card. As Tyler Derrick, good night tonight. No real tests. The saves he's made have been relatively easy. But it's just his presence there, 6'4", the experience, the way he plays has made things tougher for Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're talking about a guy with a lot of experience. What a ball here.
Lubin comes up and plays it aggressively.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience, so that's nice to rely upon when you got some young players around you. He's able to talk to you, work you through these moments. He's seen everything he's seen before, and for him, this is a good night too because he's not been playing with the Dynamo. He's been, you know, maybe the second choice keeper. So you always want to get in games. You don't train to just go sit.
Asante, nice ball to the box. Calistri, and going up and pulling it in again is Derrick.
So he's happy. He's probably, you know, yeah, I'll go down. Let me get a game. Let me get some game time. I want to play.
Calistri, 2 goals this year. He's tested Derrick a few times over the past couple of minutes. It's a good test too. This is a very talented offensive team, obviously, in Phoenix Rising with the best goal scorer and leader in assists in the league.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job of again, dropping in and not allowing Phoenix any type of rhythm.
Small continues to pressure Lubin. Baquero, the touch to Asante. Asante looking for the cross, up to John, off the top post, and it looks like it went through. We're waiting for the call from the official. It did. Asante to John.
That's a goal. And that's the big fella. That's the breakthrough. We'll see what happens from here, but now it's just gotten a lot tougher for RGV.
Asante adds on to his league in assists. And John, the big fella, he's been knocking on the door, and that time he puts it through.
Well, textbook from him, really. You look, the ball was kind of played across. He finds himself in lots of space, and you head it back across the keeper. That's your job. Back the way it came. That was a good touch by Baquero out wide. Sanchez says, I got to get it to my danger guy. Fuenmayor loses him, and you can see he heads it back across Tyler Derrick. That's what you want as a striker. That's the rule. Back the way it came. If it comes from the right, head it back to the right, because you're going to get the goalkeeper coming across his momentum.
Derrick almost had a beautiful save. As he, like you said, Tom, had to go back to his left, and now Junior Flemings will come in for Calistri. Flemings played on that Jamaican national team. A ton of speed, 62 minutes in. This is the kind of guy that can deliver a back-breaking goal.
Well, that's, you go to the bench and you bring on a guy like Junior Flemings. My goodness, if it might go from bad to worse for RGV. This guy's got 8 goals on the season. He's been away at the Gold Cup on duty with Jamaica. And again, speed to burn. And now you're a bit tired. He's coming on with fresh legs, and he's been eager to get back in. You know, since the Gold Cup finishes, these players, you know, they want to queue up as we have another sub coming.
Quick note, that was Asante's 10th assist of the year, as Rodriguez will come out, and Cabrera is going to sub in. Kevin Rodriguez out, Wilmer Cabrera in for RGV. Some fresh legs here on this hot night in Edinburgh, Texas. Deal for RGV. What a performance up to this point. The defense have been so tough, and even that last one, Derrick got a hand on it and just couldn't quite knock it down from Adam John.
Sloppy.
RGV, though. Some pace here. Pass small, and Lubin comes out. He's been tested in the second half and has responded well.
Well, interesting, because basically almost a like-for-like sub for Phoenix in Fleming for Calistri, although I think Fleming's probably more pacier. But for RGV, putting on Wilmer Cabrera, that he's saying, look, we got to get goals now, so I'm going to put on a player with a bit more attacking ability.
Flemings, John, he tried to go to the touch and go, and Flemings had cleared out by RGV. One 1-0 lead for Phoenix. So tough this season when they score first. As the official stopped play, some contact. Small went down. Phoenix Rising leads the league now with 46 goals. See if Small has something to say about that. He goes to the side. Enriquez. Now looks like that defense for Phoenix Rising just sinks into that box. They're not going to give RGV anything easy.
Well, you anticipate what's coming. You're reading the game. The other cross is coming. So, yeah, you want to make that area more difficult to play into. So play becomes predictable kind of at that point.
Phoenix Rising going for their 9th clean sheet. They're tied for 3rd in the league with 8. Still just a 1-goal game. And RGV has had some chances in this second half. Here's Martinez off the corner. Up in the air. Monroy brings it down. Monroy. Aguinaga knocked it away.
Quite a talented player. He's had a quiet night, Monroy. He's been in a wide area and hasn't seen too much ball. Again, as much as they've been defending, it's been tough for him to see the ball and do some of the special things he can do.
Adam John Gould, 61 minutes in, has Phoenix Rising on top.
But I'll tell you what, if you're Coach Echeverry, this is the response you want to see from your team. They've immediately come down. They've created a chance after going down by a goal. It's been a good response by RGV.
Yeah, young group out there for the Toros. And second corner kick already in the past couple minutes. Martinez. Waiting for it was Dia. Toros have kept the possession battle close to even in the second half. But a beautiful pass from Asante led to a goal to John.
That was almost trouble. When you get a ball like that, it comes off of a corner. You got two choices. You either shoot or get it behind the defense. You put that ball on the floor, and it can be intercepted and turn what just happened.
Here comes Small. He works on Dia. I think he was believing Enriquez would cut. He did not.
Slowing it down. You can see they're just taking their time.
And you predicted this, Tom, with Phoenix Rising could get the lead, you'd see a different pace from them. They would just sink in that defense and make it tough.
Well, no, it would be the other round. If RGV was to score first, you would see them sit 11 behind. I think now they've got to come out and play a bit. I mean, there's still a lot of time. 68th minute, and you're only one down. Still a lot of time, but you can't sit as deep and allow them as much possession as you had. You're going to have to come out at some point and play a bit. But they have. I mean, and that's not to say they haven't. You just saw the spell they had where they had 2 corners.
Here's Junior Fleming, fresh off his time with the Jamaican national team. On the counterattack, Monroy. Nice footwork from him. Now in space. Up ahead, just a little bit too long.
Hit a bit too hard. And Zach Lubin read that off his line and able to cut that out, no problem.
He was looking for Cabrera, who just checked in with fresh legs.
I think Cabrera would have had to have been Usain Bolt to catch up to that.
He's got good speed.
He's got good speed, but not that kind of speed. You have to be shot out of a cannon to get to that one.
Flemings, middle of the field. That one was sniffed out nicely, then a foul's called on Flemings.
That was well read by Isidro Martinez, but a bit sloppy. He just not the same rhythm. Definitely not a great game for Phoenix. They're going to make another change.
Lampert, the other player who's back on the roster of Phoenix Rising, just off his time with the Jamaican national team. As he'll come in for John Vaquero, who had a very active evening. Lampert out there with Flemings. We're talking to Coach Chance about the challenges of incorporating 2 very good players into a team that's really been rolling, and he pretty much said, no, it's no challenge at all. These guys are talented. It's going to work itself out.
Yeah, he did say it'll work itself out, but nobody wants to make waves when you're winning, although they all want to play. I mean, when your team's winning, you want to be a part of that. That's just fun. But you also don't want to disrupt anything. So, but they will work their way back in as they are now. So they've got their opportunity. This is where they need to impress again. Continue to impress.
Aguinaga Aginaga in the box. Works on Adam. See, hit the turf. And it's going to be a goal kick coming up, it looks like.
Tell you what, I'd like to have a look to see if he went down easy, but certainly got an appeal.
As he was battling with Martinez. What do you think?
I think he went down pretty easy. I think the tackle didn't have enough spice in it to warrant a penalty for me.
Phoenix Rising still up 1-0. A goal 61 minutes in from one of the leaders in that category, Adam John. His 10th goal this year. On the 10th assist from Solomon Asante. It just barely got past the keeper, Tyler Derrick. He hit it with his left hand. It bounced just underneath the top post. It was enough to give Phoenix Rising the lead. RGV has not backed down, though. This young group has hung with this talented bunch from Phoenix Rising. Led by their captain, that man with the ball, number 20, around the 22-year-old Kyle Adams.
He's had a good game.
Been a couple times where Asante's looked for a crossing pass. Adams has been waiting for it.
The passing just not been there. It's just been off.
Has it been more the defensive pressure from RGV, or do you think maybe just one of those
That
nights?
right there was just sloppy.
Okay.
I mean, that right there was a connected pass that should have been made. It was just overhit. All night long, they've just underhit, been sloppy. RGV's been in good areas, but I think Phoenix has been a bit sloppy as well.
Dia and Small, that's been a fun matchup to watch. Toros do have 8 interceptions tonight. Samuels has had a nice night on the defensive end. He'll throw in.
Well done.
Picked that one off. Nice tackle.
Carlos Small not giving up, not quitting.
He's had a good night. Just missed what would have been the first goal of the match early in this half. Had a one-on-one. Lubin, the keeper, came out, defended it well, and he missed it off the right post, inches. That one's played in. Tyler Derrick comes out aggressively and pulls it down. It's interesting when you think about it, Tom. The shot from Small, inches from going in, then the shot from John, inches from not going in. It both hit the post.
I said right now, we may go back to that moment and think what could have been. Might have been 1-1. And like I said, goals change games. And that post was unkind to RGV and Ricardo Small.
Phoenix Rising now outscoring their opponents 31-7, counting this match over their past 9 contests. Major contact. Musa, they say it was a clean tackle. Aginaga. Asante. He works on Junqua. Asante gets past him. Junqua kicks it with the left foot. And it's going to be...
Junqua asking for a card for simulation.
No call either way, and RGV gets possession.
Referee saying you want a penalty, you're gonna have to earn it. He's not gonna give easy penalties.
But the officials tonight have let them play a little bit. It's been to the benefit.
I have no complaint.
Yeah.
About the officiating. I think it's been pretty consistent, and that's all you want if you're a player. Let me know exactly what I can do, what I can't do, and be consistent with it. And I know how you want me to play. You know, I can play that way.
Elton Garcia and his crew have done a great job tonight. Still plenty of time. Phoenix Rising has the best record in the USL Championship. A 3-point lead at the top of the Western Conference. RGV trying to battle back into that playoff spot. They're 6 points behind the number 8 spot in the Western Conference. A couple home matchups coming up. This is the toughest, and they've played it well.
It's a team that really wants to get back to that final, and they want to win it.
RGV. Patience. Monroy tangled up. Good sportsmanship from Musa as he helps him up.
They trained hard this past week. They were off. They had time down, and Rick Shantz didn't really give him any extra time off. He said, no, we're going to train. He wanted to keep these guys working, keep them playing.
That's one point we haven't brought up yet tonight. Phoenix Rising did have last week off, and you're right, in our discussion with Coach Chance, he said we practice like we normally do.
Yeah, you know, it's, and when you think about that as a coach, you go, you know, it's a long season. I have some time. Do I want to give him an extra day or two? And he went, no, we're going to keep training. We're going to keep playing.
Funmayor. RGV needling the defense, trying to find some space, trying to even this one up. Maybe get a point out of this. Here comes Asante. His great speed. Asante pushing, big right foot a little bit high.
When you're scoring like he is, you think you just about do anything, and he took that and he had one thought in mind: I'm going to goal.
RGV has kept him out of the box well. His action, his shot attempts, his passes have been pretty much outside of that close area to the net.
Yeah, you look at this, I mean, and Tyler Adams doing a good job of keeping him in front of him. He's able to block a shot that would, if it looks like it could go to goal. So
here's Small. Trying a big shot with the right foot.
Small missing big.
And Lubin came out. He was yelling at his teammates, not happy that Small even had a look there.
No, it's a bit too easy. You want to come out and get pressure. Can't let him have those kind of looks. You can't expect him to have those kind of looks and miss the target every time.
Small has had some chances. What a great goal scorer he is. As he beat a couple players and gave it a big swing.
Yeah, that's too easy. And goalkeepers don't like that. And they will call you to task.
And Lubin did that right there. He's one of the best in the league this year. Near the top in clean sheets. He's working on another one right now. But RGV is pressuring. Here's a big kick, and that's high.
Again, that high pressure right there, catching Phoenix, and they're just in the wrong speed, I think, right now. This has been a bit of a lazy 1-0 for them, and you have to credit RGV because they've been tenacious. I think tactically they've played it pretty well.
Rodriguez off the bench. He's already had a couple good looks. A nice young goal scorer, lots of speed. One of many talented and youthful players for RGV. Of course, fatigue starts to settle in. Both these groups comfortable in the hot temperatures. 95 when this started. Decent humidity. Not as much as we're used to here in Edinburgh, Texas.
It's him taking their time. Not going to be in a hurry to do too much when you got the lead. Gamesmanship.
Flemings tries to go cross field. It's knocked out by Samuels. Corner kick coming up.
The 1-0, you just don't need to be in a hurry to do anything. Don't need to be in a hurry to take a corner. Don't need to be in a hurry to take a throw in.
Only the 4th corner kick from Phoenix Rising. Last week they had 9 compared to T2's 2. We're even at 4 apiece tonight.
Two totally different performances, to be quite fair. Two just totally different out of Phoenix. I mean, they were just free flowing all over it. And this week a bit more laboring.
Here's a corner kick. Looking for John, and pulling it in is Derek. Nicely done.
Yeah, well, again, you know, the ball's looped up. He's able to come out, get underneath it, get himself extended. Easy one for him.
You mentioned last week was more free-flowing for Phoenix Rising as we look at this kick here.
Yeah, again, it's just looped up in, and you just see him. He reads it the whole way, gets up, highest point, pulls it down.
How much is RGV to credit for making this a bit of a more sloppy evening for Phoenix Rising compared to 2 weeks ago when they handled T2?
I definitely think they've set in, at least early on, they set in to defend and again, just try and cut down lanes so that it was hard for Phoenix to pick out players. But when you've got that kind of quality in the field, it sometimes only lasts for so long. Oh my goodness.
Small working on Dia, touch towards the box and cleared out.
This is starting to get a bit sloppy for me. I mean, that ball's coming through, hits your trailing foot. I mean, if that goes through, it goes through to Lubin, it's no problem.
RGV has tested Phoenix's back line. And about 11 minutes and then bonus time to make something happen here. Phoenix Rising going for their first win in HEB Stadium. 3 draws here.
Look at that. Wow. We'll see what happens here, but they win the ball and hardly a player getting forward. How tough it is for Phoenix to get forward. and then high pressure from RGV, and they win it back. You see some players with their hands on their hips. Definitely some tired players out there.
We'll see. We'll get a few more subs in. Both teams have deep benches, as there's one lining up here for RGV. Lemoyne to sub in. Enriquez. Nice evening for him. He comes out. Nico Lemoyne is in.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, it's just this game is kind of starting to grind to an even slower pace. That shows you how hot it is. And I mean, you'd like to see how much weight all these players have lost just in water weight, just in running.
We'll see if RGV can find a second gear here late. Small, the touch, not a bad look, and Lubin pulled it in.
Clever tries that outside of the boot. Bender just didn't have enough on it. That was never really going to get past Lubin. I mean, for that effort to beat the keeper would have had to been struck by lightning, or the ground would have had to open up and swallow him.
Small has looked for the upper right part of the goal tonight. That one he tried to mix it up.
I think it was Clever. I think he did what he could do, just didn't have near enough pace on it for what he needed.
Carlos Small has had a good evening. 7 goals this year. Been close a couple times tonight. That time, Lubin closed the door pretty quickly. They're calling a handball. So, RGV, the set piece. They keep possession. It's a second handball tonight.
I'll tell you, you still got to focus if you're Phoenix, right? Because it's 1-0. RGV are still in it. This game could still present a chance or two for them.
The Toros have really had possession domination over the past 10-15 minutes. As that one went to John, it was a little bit behind him. And you look at these two teams, yes, Phoenix Rising has the lead on the scoreboard, but it seems like, just watching them play over these past 5-10 minutes, it's RGV with more stamina.
Yeah, I mean, it appears like they have a bit more running in them, maybe a bit more urgency to try to get something from this game. Again, you know, these 3 points are important to both teams for different reasons. One, to extend a lead, the other to try to keep climbing up the table to get closer to a playoff spot, because they have some games that possibly they might think beyond this are winnable. So maybe a little more urgency from RGV at this moment.
Yeah, RGV has got a few home games coming up over the next 3 weeks. 2 of the next 3 are here at HEB Stadium, where they're tough. Phoenix Rising, they have a 3-point lead for first place in the Western Conference right now. They can extend it to 6 if they pick up 3 points here. RGV is thinking if we could possibly somehow even this one up and steal a point, that would be a big victory.
Well, the big thing is possession right now. Keep the ball. If you're Phoenix, you're 1-0 up, keep it. Don't keep turning it over.
We've been trying to watch how Flemings and Lambert, after spending time with the Jamaican national team, integrate with their squad. And it does seem like that there still is an adjustment period that's being made right now for Phoenix, but it's given RGV maybe a little bit of advantage in that regard.
You know, look, their first game back. I mean, you know, you don't know what kind of. I don't know. I don't think they figured much for Jamaica. So how much match fitness is in them, I don't know. But you know, they got to work their way back into that match fitness for sure. But both were important parts of this Phoenix team before they left, and I think will continue to be important parts for this Phoenix team. Good ball.
Here's a chance for Phoenix. That's Flemings right there. The touch to the right post, just a bit wide, as Flemings was looking for the goal.
I think he did the absolute right thing. I think Tyler Derrick came out, cut his angle, and he laid a ball, just left it open at that far post for Solomon Asante to come and finish. So he just hits it, but well come back, well covered. And you see Asante looking over him going, I wanted that. That was a good ball. He knew it was a good ball. It was laid across.
Yeah, Asante points to Flemings. His first game back, the 22-year-old.
Oh, 2 yellows. Handbags at 20 paces.
Musa picking it up for Phoenix Rising. Did you catch who it was for RGV?
I don't think I did.
Well, Musa got 1. That's the second for Phoenix Rising.
A little argy-bargy happening, a little pushing and shoving.
You'll see that late in the game. Here's maybe an opportunity. Some space. Moving to his right, trying for the strike was Lemoyne. He forces. It's going to lead to a goal kick here.
So there's only one yellow issued. Thought it looked like he issued two.
They were both shoving.
Ah, well, no, that's going to do it. You can't. Cabrera's got a free kick. You can't go stepping in front when he's ready to play it. So,
Coach Chance maybe defending his guy, but yeah, it did look like that's clearly Musa.
So it wasn't necessarily as bad as we thought. It was just you're getting in the way of a free kick. You can't do that.
Time winding down here for RGV. Under 5 minutes left. And then added time, of course. Don't know if there'll be a lot for the Toros to work with. Been a pretty clean, free-flowing match. Defenses have dominated. 61 minutes in, Asante delivered a beautiful pass to Adam John, who just got it past the keeper, Tyler Derrick, who's had a very nice night. And then earlier in the half, Carlos Small had a look. It went off the right post and ricocheted away as there's some contact and no whistle. And those two plays right there have been the difference. A matter of inches, Small inches away from scoring his 8th goal. John inches away from missing. But Phoenix Rising's on top 1-0. And Aguinaga gonna get the yellow here. That's 3 yellows on Phoenix Rising.
That's frustration.
Yeah. Credit RGV for making things tough for the team with a top record in the league. We'll see if that comes into play. Not a lot of time to pick up a red. Yeah.
That's just silly. There's no need for that.
Kept running and Lemoyne took the hit.
That's just silly. There's no need to go and run into a player like that. That's just silly.
I wonder what Aguinaga is trying to plead here. Looked pretty cut and dry as he makes his case to Elton Garcia.
I'm beginning to get the feeling that I think Rick Chance and Phoenix will be happy to get out of RGV with 3 points especially. They'll be very happy with that.
Hydration break for the players as we work our way to the final minutes. Will likely lead to some more added time. Toros, as they have 20 points in the standings, 3 would be big. Of course, right now you're looking for 1.
I think they're getting a chance, Water, because there was a player down at the other end.
Coach Chance, what a year he's had. He was coach of the month in June. 5-0-0 record. Phoenix Rising trying to extend this winning streak to 9 games.
Junior Flemings was a player that was down, by the way.
See him at the bottom of your screen. Back up and walking down the sideline. Nice little touch pass. Maybe a look here. RGV player goes down.
Consistent.
It's cleared out, and you're right. That's what I was thinking there, Tom. It's been consistently not called, and I think that's correct there.
He wouldn't have given that the other end, so he's not going to give it at the other.
That was Lemoyne going down. Toro still with it. Low on time. And there is a foul. Fleming's back out there. As Fleming's made contact with Lemoyne. Here's a look at it.
Cabrera.
Yeah, that was Cabrera actually in the box. And now Small with it. This one is Lemoyne. Big kick. Just high.
I'll tell you, you've got to get out to players. You can't let them tee off like that from that area. Definite tired legs out there. Tired legs and tired minds. And again, you lose that kind of, when you're losing that kind of water weight, and it has an effect. It starts to fatigue you.
Opportunity there for RGV. They've been aggressive. You know, they've had space, and they said, we're going to take our shots and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, when they're in good areas, they're not afraid to go ahead and take their chance.
Little touch pass from Flemings. Aguinaga. He can take his time. Flemings on Samuels, who's had a really strong evening on the defensive side. Trying to waste some time in the corner. And it's taken away.
Well done there.
Rodriguez played it perfectly. That pass, though, was intercepted after it ricocheted off the referee. Dia to Aguinaga. That time it's Lemoyne taking it away, and a foul is called. Martinez was also in on it.
Again, you got to admire the 4 minutes of stoppage time here. You got to admire the effort and the persistence that's being put out by RGV. As soon as they're losing it, and they know they've got to. They're 1-0 down, so they have no choice. They've got to try and win the ball back immediately. And if you're Phoenix, you want to be better at making sure that you keep it.
Silver lining for RGV, if this score holds, this will be their 4th match. In the past 5, they've held their opponents to 1 goal or less. This, of course, being the toughest one against the team leading the league in goals in Phoenix Rising. You know they want to maybe squeak one out here, though. Maybe a miraculous late goal to possibly even it up. Flemings went down, didn't get the call. And here comes RGV. Chances limited. Junquo goes out wide. And a push. As Monroy.
Oh, I think he's right.
Yeah.
You got your hands up. Can't get your hands up like that.
As he bodied up against Lambert.
I think what he thought was, Kevon Lambert thought that the player went down too easily, but you can't put your hands up in his chest.
Even if the player doesn't go down, that might be a whistle.
You think it's too easy, like it was, but you just can't. When you put your hands up like that, you give the referee a chance to make a call.
So let's see what Martinez can do here.
This is an opportunity.
Set piece. RGV. They're going to probably try to find Adams, one of the taller players. He had 3 shots last week. Up in the air. Adams is towards that backside, and it's cleared out.
You got Adam John acting as a defender, so.
Crossing pass towards the box.
Oh, that's trouble. You're in trouble, son.
And that's going to lead to a yellow card.
I think they're wanting red. They're wanting a red card because that they're looking at denying Navi's goal scoring opportunity right there.
The open field. Right now it's a yellow on Rodriguez. You can see Asante and his teammates quickly swarm Elton Garcia. Coach Shantz, he's waiting for the explanation before making judgment, I think.
I tell you what, I thought he was going to go to his back pocket. He went to his top pocket. I thought he was going to go in his back pocket. Because let's have a look here. So that ball's coming out. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What I can't see is the other side.
Sure.
To know if there was another defender trailing coming in. If not, he's going to goal all by himself. That's a red card.
Maybe RGV catches a late break. Maybe makes a difference next matchup, so Rodriguez can continue and come back and play.
It's a break in that sense, yes, for sure. We have a look. You know what? That's a red card for me.
So official referee Tom, you give the red card.
I would get. You have to give the red card there.
RGV maybe catching a break. Let's see if they can maybe even capitalize here. They're running out of time. Ball went to Small. Now he's got it back. Dia plays him tight. And every opportunity late for RGV. Phoenix Rising has closed the door. Their offense gets the press, but their defense is still top-notch. If they hold on to this, they will have outscored their opponents in a 9-game winning streak, 31-6.
And if you're RGV, this will be the 4th game in a row that you haven't scored.
Defense has been good. Offense is where they're working.
Defensively, they've been much better, but now they've got it. It's not for lack of chance. The post denied them tonight. It possibly could have been 1-1. Look at that, asking for a handball as well.
I think Small tried to kick it up into the chest area of Aguinaga. No call. Here's Fleming. Working on Adams. Fun matchup there. Fleming's to his right. Kicks back to the left. Derek made the stop to keep his team alive.
Good save by Tyler Derek coming out, making a big target.
This will likely be the last opportunity for the home team. Chip up to Small over his head.
That should be it.
As we are waiting for the official to blow this one dead. The keeper, Lupin, brings it out.
Yeah, he comes across, and look at Tyler Derek just coming out, making himself a big target, getting a piece of that.
It looked like his right foot was able to get a piece of it.
As this ball's played up, this should be it.
RGV fought hard, did their best to end the winning streak for Phoenix Rising. But right now, the road team looks like they're going to be victorious here.
Tell you what, he's been very generous with this extra time. He's already gone minute 22 past the 4 minutes allotted.
Funmayor trying to catch Martinez running. Played well by Boyo, and that's going to be it. It's over. Phoenix Rising takes this one 1-0. Coach Chance breathed a sigh of relief. Shakes the hand of his good friend, Coach Echeverry. A well-played contest by RGV. They just couldn't quite pull this one out as both these teams exhausted. They fought hard, but it's Phoenix Rising winning number 9 in a row. Small had a shot earlier in this first half. This was towards the start time, and this one would have changed the course of this match.
Would have made it 1-0. As you look, pass intercepted, and it transitioned, but a bad touch. Small was alert, and he looks up, and he's in here, and he knows what he wants to do, and he does everything right, except to hit the post, and the post just was not kind. And that would have been RGV up 1-0 if that would have gone in.
One more look at this one from Small, their leading goal scorer. Wasn't the easy of shots. You know it's one he's going to want back and think about tonight. As Phoenix Rising takes this one 1-0. We'll break and come back and recap this one, a competitive one between RGV and Phoenix Rising.
The more we are together with nature, the more we are together, the better we'll be. There's forests and rivers, mountains and valleys. The more we are together, the better we'll be.
For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank has grown along with our customers. Together, we have helped transform South Texas, raised families, and planted roots to create opportunities that benefit not the few, but the many, to plan and build for a better tomorrow, to imagine what is possible. That is how you build strong communities and the strong bank, one generation at a time. For 35 years, Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. Customization is what we've always done. We have mustard, mayo, ketchup. It's all up to you.
When you customize your own burger, you can put your personality in it.
Manny's ketchup, no cheese. This is my Whataburger.
We customize orders 24 hours a day.
Everybody wants it just like they like it. When you can make it your own, that always enhances that experience for you.
They're just happy to do whatever makes you happy.
However you want it, I got you. Here at Whataburger, we make it just like you like it, whenever you like it.
Phoenix Rising gets a win on the road. Their first one at HEB Stadium. Wasn't an easy one, though. They top RGV 1-0. And really, the entirety of this match was competitive, especially in that first half. Very physical. A tough one for the road team to pull this one out.
Well, I think if you're Rick Shantz and Phoenix Rising, it's kind of like not every painting Da Vinci painted was a Mona Lisa. This one may not have been pretty, but it was enough to get the job done. It was early on, maybe some chances for Phoenix Rising, but it was that guy right there, Adams. He had a pretty good night. His positioning was solid. He always put himself in decent positions to make sure that he was able to get the cross plate away or get the tackle put in. This pass right here, that was tantalizing. That ball was put on a plate. All it needed was the finish. And really in the game, you saw a lot of possession from Phoenix early on in this game, and it was, but what happened was RGV, they would sit back and they would pick passes off, transition like you see here with Rodriguez, cutting it back, the touch, letting Small down. I don't think Small had a bad game all in all. I think he was busy. He worked hard on the defensive end. He got unlucky with the post. That right there, and that's what the game can give you. It gives team chances, whether they're your chances, whether they're created by possibly the other team. This probably is one of the most pivotal moments for RGV. If that goes in, wow, you're looking at a lead. You're looking at your tactics been great so far. You frustrated the team that's scored 30 goals over 8 games on an 8-game winning streak, and they've come to your place and you've taken the lead. That'd have been a great moment for them. But they didn't stop there. They just kept pushing and pressing. I mean, RGV, if nothing else, very brave on the night. And it took a little bit of, look at this moment right here. Hang a ball up for your big guy, and look, it's inches, really. Inches one way, as you said earlier before, it was inches one way, inches the other way. That one, Tyler gets a hand to it, just couldn't keep it out. And it just gets across the line. And there's the one from Small. He's clever, tries to get it with the outside of the boot, just doesn't quite get it to the top corner. Doesn't near have enough pace. But it was going to be Phoenix at the end of the day, because once you have to start opening up, if you're RGV, which you did, you know, you're going to create chances at the other end. The refereeing was consistent. A chance that I think, you know, RGV would have wanted, but there was other chances at the other end that Phoenix didn't get the penalty. So, you know, evenly done by the referee.
Even look at those stats. Shots pretty close. Shots on target. Phoenix Rising had the slight advantage, a little bit of advantage in possession, but the second half, that got a lot closer. It was a competitive match, 1-0 final. Just the team with, on paper, the more offensive firepower came out on top.
I think if you're RGV, you probably feel maybe a little bit like you should have gotten a little bit more out of the game. And if you're Phoenix Rising, you know, you got handed a game by RGV. Very little margins in it. Shots were tough. Possession, shots and targets, probably the biggest stat difference.
RGV played it tight, Tom, but Phoenix Rising comes out on top. They extend their winning streak to 9 straight. That's the best ever in the Western Conference. They extend their lead at the top of the standings by 3 points over a tough RGV team. They take it 1-0. The Toros fall to 5-9-5 in this one. We thank you for watching and spending some time with us this Saturday night. For our crew, I'm Ryan Pierce. For Tom Traxler, thank you. We'll talk with you next time as RGV plays it tight, but Phoenix Rising comes out on top, 1-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.